Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Continuity Cast. It's me, your boy. What's up, y'all? Yo, I'm about to go ahead and throw out this disclaimer. If you have been trying to watch my streams on Twitch, I do sincerely apologize. Especially because it's like, I come up and then I'm gone. I come up and then I'm gone. That's why I don't even post it on Twitter, just because I'm losing so much patience. So the reason, I'm just gonna be candid. I got this laptop back in 2014. So Bessie's been working pretty hard for me for quite some time. And what I really don't want to continue to do, I don't want to put out these streams where I'm all animated. I'm excited to talk to people and this, that, and the third. And next thing you know, all people see is these freeze frames where they barely actually understand the conversation of what's going on. So, excuse me. Here we go. So with that being said, I'm thinking about putting the streams on hold until I can afford a better streaming laptop, or I'm just going to try and find a way around it. But with that being said, I got to do it. I got a shameless plug. Please, ladies and gentlemen, in the link, look in the description box below. There's a link to the Patreon. If you would love to support my channel and help me grow, help me get better equipment, try to do more things, try to expand, especially in terms of content, please, that is the best way to directly support the channel. I would greatly appreciate you just taking 10 to 15 seconds to even consider it. That's what I'll appreciate right there. Right then and there. So I apologize. We might as well go and get the fucking show started. So, hi. You guys remember how I got a new pup. He's 7 weeks today. 7 weeks today. That's wild. Now, not only am I a glutton for punishment for already dealing with a newborn pup, on top of that, me and my wife is like, yo, it would be a great idea. Let's foster more puppies so he can get socialized and stuff like that, because our dogs won't even go near him. And I was like, bet. And she was like, bet. And we were like, bet. And now I'm like, fuck. And now she's like, fuck. And now we're both like, fuck. Because these two puppies, cute as all get out. Cute as outdoors. Like, fam, these motherfuckers will melt your heart. Especially the boy. I like the boy more. But yo, these motherfuckers will not stop shitting. Coda was cool. He'll do 2 in a day, and then we'll be good like that. These other puppies, clockwork. Oh, word? You working on cleaning out the crate? Okay, bet. Poop. Right then and there. Almost in your hands. And then what irritates me the most about it is that they're so one-track mind on getting your attention and playing with you or getting loved on that they'll just walk up through it and then try to get to you. So yeah, but they're cute. So pray for Cage. Hope that I don't lose my mind, because it's kind of hard to do nice things when you lose your mind. But that ain't the only fun stuff that's been happening. As y'all can see, I finally did it. Finally listened to y'all. Finally went ahead and got me a background. Yeah. Just gonna sit back with me and my background. Yeah, I wonder what me and my background are gonna do next. Might throw some Funko Pops on here. Might get some fucking, look, I don't even know if I want to buy some damn Funko Pops. I don't really care for figurines. That's weird, especially as a huge anime fan as I am. I've been to Tokyo and I've seen all the One Piece and Dragon Ball Super figurines and the vending machines, or can just buy them from a comic book store. And I was like, nah, I'm good. I'd rather not spend the money on that. Not even when I went to the Gundam store. It's just not my thing. Not my thing at all. But with that being said, that poster right there. So I try to tell myself, I was like, fam, these fucking posters cost a lot of money. So if you're going to get posters, get movies that you really like. So I really did enjoy the fuck out of Endgame, especially Act 3. Yo, bless the hearts of everybody that was in the movie theater with me, because I screamed yes in the most crazy sounding way. It was just yes! I can't remember. It was bad. It was really bad. And this was when Cap picked up the hammer, when Falcon said on your left. But I digress. We're not gonna talk about that right now. But I couldn't find an Infinity War poster. I found Endgame. So when life gives you lemons, you take whatever the fuck you get and you say thank you. So I have an Endgame poster. Now, what I'm thinking about doing, I think it'd be a cool idea to just change it out, change it out as the months go by. So February, I'm trying to decide what I'm gonna do, but I'm thinking about getting some black excellence. Gotta stun on motherfuckers real quick. I'm excited for it. I really am. Yo, so on top of the new background, this previous week, whenever the hell it was, great things happen. I mentioned it before on social media. I can't wait to mention it again. I had 2 great collabs that went down. I got a chance to interview the Nia D. Hemmings and the Masked Man themselves. It was dope. Both interviews went off without a hitch, and I'm so excited to continue to talk about it because, like I mentioned us on the podcast before, it's a euphoric feeling when somebody validates what you think of yourself, or especially when it comes down to your ambition. Keyword is ambition. We're gonna talk about that a little bit later, but. So I'm bringing this up because I had to speak on the Masked Man review because everything that could have gone wrong did go wrong. And it was to the point where Google Hangout wasn't working. He had a hard time with his equipment. I had an even harder time with my equipment because once again, I'm poor. So what ended up happening was he invited me onto his Discord. I was already on there because, I stalked him. But we got on his Discord, and he had this one dude last minute. He pulled him and said, "Yo, fam, can you come through for us?" And shout out to Ben. I told you I was gonna get you a shout out. I don't know if you're ever gonna watch this, but here's that shout out. I promise you. But Ben came through for us in the clutch. So he ended up recording our conversation, which was on Discord. So when you go look at the video that's already been up for almost a week, you know what's going on. Now, the reason why I'm bringing that up is because I get really excited just remembering this shit. So a smooth hour and 15 minutes I'm talking to Masked Man, or however long the interview was. I'm talking to him and all this stuff, and I keep hearing this da-dun, 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 this little sound, and I'm and whatever, but it's probably somebody's laptop's dying or whatever. So I'm about to just keep talking to somebody tells me to shut up. So all the sounds keep going off throughout the interview, and it's not really taking my attention away. It's not really bothering him. So I'm fuck it. I'm about to I found that zone where the conversation carries itself. So I'm about to continue to flow from one topic to another. And I'm just going to let this shit ride. Hour flew by like that. So when the interview finally finished, I had no more talking points left. And the rest of the stuff I want to say for a little bit later. If he's willing to come back for another conversation, or even come down to come do a cast. But once I got finished with all that stuff, all the duns was gone. I was all right, we done recording. He said yeah, Ben said yeah, and then 8 other people started speaking. I was yo, what the fuck? All I heard was people just talking out of nowhere, and I was fam, where the fuck did you guys come from? I couldn't do anything but laugh because I was really taken back because I wasn't prepared for anybody else to be there. So what ended up happening, see, this is why you gotta check your phone. In the voice chat or wherever the hell it is, there people showed up, and that was the sound. That the dun was them showing up and connecting to it. But the reason why I bring this up because one, shout out to them for just having the respect of not being a dickhead and jumping into the conversation or interrupting anything. Because me, I'm letting motherfuckers know my presence. The first thing I'm gonna do is be a dickhead unless there's a conversation being had. I'm busting in, yo. Yo, I'm letting motherfuckers know the most wholesomest, most non-cheating, because black men will never, ever cheat. Black man is here. Cage. But, I damn near will do a WWF entrance to a conversation. You should see me when I pick up the phone, if I ever pick up the phone. But, yo, the fact that they showed me that common courtesy, the fact that they were just they welcomed me in with such open arms, they and then just the love started flooding in. One dude was yo, shout out to Paisan, and everybody over there, bro, they was telling me, I'm smiling from ear to ear. It was a lot of fun for me, and it was a lot of fun for them. And if anything, like, my goal was to go in there and just have a conversation with Mask Man, and the fact that he had a good time, his people had a good time, I had a good time. Yo, that's all I can really ask for. And this is me, like, dipping my toes in it. So it's something I definitely want to continue to pursue. Like, yo, I'm gonna go and throw this out there. If you have any YouTubers that you would love to see me talk to, or you feel like the personalities, like the energy would be great, I'm always down for it. I love talking to people, and I love learning about stuff or talking about things that I'm familiar with or I'm not familiar with. As long as, like, I can have a good time with it. As soon as I can get my mic to stop falling on me. Quit falling, Mike. I work too hard for your bullshit shit. Oh, wait, I'm going the wrong way. Going the wrong way. My fault, y'all. Please don't click off this video. Please don't do this to me. Alright, but yo. So, not only did they, like, welcome me in with open arms, but it was such a good time. But, shit, I lost my train of thought with that one. I'm not even going to front with you. Also, what I was saying, I'd like to reach out to other YouTube communities or other people in general, just whoever is a fun person to talk to about different things. I tried to hit up FB Aftermath, Teron Beckham. I tried to hit him up. He said podcast ain't really his thing, which is all well, fine, and good. Don't worry. I'm going to get your ass one day. Look, I'm about to say, I'm going to catch you slipping one day. I'm going to just sneak a microphone up to him. But I've already I haven't really spoke about some of the other people that I would like to interview, but I'm not picky. I want to talk to any and everybody. I would love to continue to collab. Like, if I could, and this, the bad thing about this is, like, this is me in a confined setting. This is me without, like, body language and face to face and reading a room and stuff like that. I prefer in person. I prefer to, like, read people, like, eye contact and stuff like that. Like, no shit, dog. I was sitting here just, like, staring at a wall, talking to Maskman and Naya about a bunch of bullshit, you know what I'm saying? And that's why I'm so excited to continue to do this, but I'm even more so excited to take the cast and then make it grow, which is why I need you guys' help. So if I can make this grow and then, like, be able to pull other people in and start doing this stuff face to face, imagine the energy. It's gonna be even more exciting, even more dope, even fucking longer, or whatever the hell you want. Like, whatever you want it to be, that's probably what it's gonna be. That's how I'm gonna put it. So, with that being said, I say we go ahead and get into some of the weekly bullshit that I had to deal with. I've already spoken on the constant. I think I already spoke on the constant mess ups. Like I said, I'm not gonna harp on the negative because you can only do so much. But what I am gonna say is, I wish I had that, like, razor. Y'all remember that episode of SpongeBob where Sandy had him doing all that extreme shit because she was about to go into hibernation? I think the episode's called, like, pre-hibernation. And he's just like, he's sick of it after he gets snitched on by hiding under Patrick's house. And he's just like, I am a man. Guess what, y'all? I am a man. I put up 2 weeks ago. I put up the Christmas decorations and whatnot, except for the stuff outside. Yeah, the Christmas lights outside are still up. I'm not even gonna front. Not even gonna lie to you guys on that one. Want to know why? Because of what I'm about to tell you. So, what had happened was, when I was putting up all the Christmas decorations, me and my beautiful boo babe was in the garage, and I'm throwing this stuff, like, in the fucking attic and things like that. And I'm like, all right, bet. All right, babe, hold the ladder down. I'm about to go upstairs and I'm about to rearrange everything. I'm going to get done. I'm going to fucking come back downstairs. I'm going to get all, shit, shower, shave, you ready for this interview, all that fun stuff. And then Cage found a way to fuck it up. I don't know why he likes to do these things, but it's like, I was like, you know what's a good idea? I'm going to find a way to fuck up putting up Christmas decorations. How could I do this? So, apparently, when you go into an attic, there's, like, wood that you are designated to walk on if you need to explore said attic. Guess who didn't know that? Oh, my bad. No. Guess who didn't know that? Me. I didn't fucking know that. So like I get up the stairs and I put one foot down. Like mind y'all, I weigh 128. 128. Just because I bought some muscle from Target and Walmart don't mean that I got muscle. Don't let the oversized t-shirts fool you. But yo, I stepped one foot down and like a whole fucking ceiling, the rectangle just falls damn near on top of my wife. And I fall through the goddamn ceiling and I land like on one of those beams right next to like where the ladder is. And when I tell you I landed like right on my thigh, I thought it was over. The first thing I thought about was my ceiling. The first thing my wife thought about was my ceiling. Yo, this adult life ain't worth it. Listen to me. Listen. I didn't even care about my well-being. The first thing I thought was like, fam, I gotta pay for the ceiling now. That's not a good look. That's not a good look, Cage. But yeah, so I fell through the ceiling. I survived a lot. Like, no shit. Christmas decorations. I don't know, man. We might be a minimalist family next year. I don't know if any of that stuff's ever getting out of the attic. Now, I think we live in this house forever. Now, with all that being said, Sunday, I'm man, Chris. I'm back in man mode. I went and I fixed it all by myself. My neighbor helped. Look, my neighbor had to help me, but I got everything together, and I was there for majority of the parts. But he was like, "All right, don't even worry about it. I got your back." And I was like, "Bet you got my back, and I ain't have to pay." Shout out to you, neighbor. You know exactly who you are. Wherever the fuck that was supposed to be. All right, so yeah, so for some reason, falling through the ceiling, that was one of the highlights of my week. But with all that being said, I'm alive by the grace of God. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna take a real quick break. I'm gonna come right back in the. All right, y'all, we are back, and the movie that we're about to talk about. So I don't think this is a regular segment, but I really want to speak on this movie because I needed a movie to speak on or something like that, kind of buffer into the before we get to the nerd shit. Yo, so my wife and I watched Ma Rainey's Black Bottom. We watched it today, and it definitely wasn't what I thought it was going to be. Excuse me. So the reason why I'm saying that is because I've seen about I think I saw the trailer. As soon as I saw Viola Davis, I was like, all right, bet. And then I saw Chadwick Boseman, I was like, oh, okay, big bet. Now I have to watch this. All right, cool. I already listened to the blues thanks to my dad. So with that being said, watching the movie, it was it really wasn't what I thought it was gonna be because it wasn't what I was prepared for. If that makes any sense. So let me give you a little bit of context behind this. So for those who haven't seen Ma Rainey's Black Bottom, I'm gonna go and tell you now. I'm dropping all the spoilers. Dropping spoilers. First spoiler: this wasn't originally a movie. I thought it was a biopic. By the way that the trailers were, I was like, okay, this is about to be a biopic. I'm about to see like her upbringing, what got her into blues, and like all that stuff. No, none of that whatsoever. The movie is based on the play, it's originally a play that was adapted into a movie. All right, bet. Now the way that the movie is, I think it took me like an hour to realize. All right, so the setting is it's like in a recording studio, and it's damn near like just a day in the life. It's a slice of life, but for a biopic of an old blues woman or the mother of blues, and the day is just the band getting in there, getting to the studio. They start rehearsing and all that stuff, and it's the reason why I wasn't prepared for it because I was like, it's a lot of monologuing going on. Like, as in, characters get a moment, they get a second, they spit their piece, and then they just like start going in, and you get these in-depth looks on everybody. And if I'm gonna talk about the movie as a whole, the first thing I want to go ahead and start harping on is the dialogue. So with the dialogue, one thing that I appreciate is that it didn't go that typical movie route where somebody's big boastful saying, I'm this, I'm that. But you see characters speak on one another. Like the reason why I bought into Levy's talent is because the two producers kept buying, like they kept. I hate Alexa so much. Somebody tell my FBI agent I ain't doing nothing. I'm not supposed to. You see, I still don't have no haircut. Leave me be, bro. Leave me be. But yo, so you buy into Levy's talent just because of how highly requested it is and how even the other band members admit that he is very talented. Now, saying with Ma, you know that she's a very not just outspoken. I want to say something different, but like you do get this sense of power that already emits from her just from the way other characters speak on her. The two white producers, they're like just getting shit ready because she's coming, and then one dude's trying to say like he's basically telling oh boy don't be a bitch when she comes around. They acted like a bunch of bitches when she came around because that's how cold she was. But like I really appreciate the writing, especially when you see the band together and just the band. Ma's not even involved. Ma's not even around for some of the time that the band spend together because they're in like this little dark ass room, and that's where they rehearse. But in the middle of them rehearsing, it's like you get all these different insights, all these different characters, and it's like a continuous battle of ideologies. And one thing I really do appreciate, shout out to Dr. T. Hassan. I do apologize if I'm butchering his name. I like listening to his channel. He had a panel of other black men that spoke on the movie. And I think that conversation was very, very, very dope. And it even enlightened me to some points. So the reason why I'm bringing that up is because you look at Levy. So one of the things with his character is that it's not that he was searching for validation. It was how he went about it. And one thing that they mentioned that I didn't even think about, the first thing that Levy does in the movie is he buys shoes. Gets to the big city, says hello to Chicago, and the first thing he does is he goes buy shoes. Shoes cost $8.50, but we're not going to talk about that. And when he gets to the band room where he's with the other band members, first thing he does, he boasts and brags about his shoes. Gets very excited about his shoes. He puts so much stock into it. And as the movie progresses along, when something ends up happening to him and the shoes get damaged, he takes it out on an older man. Like, you see it. And they brought this up. Now, I'm bringing this up because, and I don't know if this was intent. Like, this has to be intentional how the person wrote this film, play, whatever you want to call it. Because guess what? As somebody who came from inner city schools, I've seen a lot of fights get started over somebody stepping on somebody else's shoes. As somebody who walked with his toes curled to try and protect his shoes from creases, I understand the validation that we get or we give to these objects right here. And somebody said it best on there, I think it was BGS. He said, you can tell a man's worth by his shoes. His clothes could look like shit back in the day, but if his shoes look nice, that's a whole nother thing. Now, I wouldn't say it's exactly the same because if the whole fit is fucked, then it ain't looking too hot. But that it really did ring true, especially to a younger version of Cage way back in the day that used to harp over shoes. And I'm somebody who never had a whole bunch of shoes like that because I was too busy playing video games, but I saw how other people viewed their shoes. I saw how people were kickboxing and stuff like that. So I thought that was a really dope insight that they showed. One thing that I like that even I noticed in the movie myself, I like the constant contrast between Levy and the other band members. So Levy is a younger dude. He's 32, and the other band members look like they're in late 50s, early 60s, all of them. So one thing that you'll notice in the movie is that Levy is constantly battling them because they're trying to give him some form of experience. I'm not going to say wisdom because there were some things that they weren't really too familiar on, or they didn't, have as much faith or stock in like Levy did, but at the same time, they have this experience where they were trying to guide him to the proper direction, but he didn't want to go that way. So the big thing with Levy was he's so full of talent, and these white dudes was already putting stock into him and all that fun stuff, getting him hyped up and whatnot to the point where Levy is he's already planning on making his own band. So with Levy, he's already like he wrote a bunch of songs, and the white dudes are saying like, all right, bet y'all are gonna perform these songs, y'all gonna put them on the record. So Levy's head is already like here, right? So when the older dudes are trying to talk to him, they're like, listen, dog, like this, cool, this is great that you got your own thing going on, but we're in Ma's band, so we have to play Ma's music. And as somebody who is ambitious, I understood where Levy's coming from, where you just can't wait to break out and go do your own thing. Now where you could see. Oh damn, man! I'm sorry, I'm trying to get my words together because like it really is good writing. That's real, and I haven't even brought in Viola Davis, but Chadwick Boseman really does bring the character of Levy to life in the form of this movie, because you can see like the burning ambition that has him. You see like how he defends himself when everybody's giving him shit for how he has to try and talk and jive with, one of the white producers and try to like make his way in the world and make his path. Now, where the point of contention is the damn near the movie could have been played different, could have gone a different route had they just believed in the kid. But Ma, being at that point in her career, especially when the movie takes place, so she's set up to be like on the downward slide, right? So she's supposed to be on the decline, where she's popping in the South, but it's only in the South. She can't even afford to get a room at a white hotel. She like they even say, I think it's almost verbatim, like she can't even get a cab in New York City, stuff like that, because she's stuck in her way. She like to play music her way, and she plays what's in her heart, and that's her truth. All right, bet. Levy wants to do more than that. He don't want to play jug band music. He wants to play something more lively with more pop into it. And, in the movie, like I said, you see like, things could go differently if they did go Levy's way, if they did let his talent shine, if they did like support and help get him to where he's trying to go. But they didn't really help him out like that. And, he ended up in a terrible predicament. So, I said spoilers. I'm not going to go into the ending because I want people to see it. I really do. I want you to see it, because when I tell you, it pulled the rug out from underneath me. I had a feeling that something was going to go down, but it legit pulled the rug out from underneath me. Now, with all that being said, my bad. I got to talk about the structure of the movie. So, not even the structure. I'd say it's more so the setting. The way that the movie tripped me out with the setting was that everything took place in that one day. So like I said, it's like just a day in the life. Damn near, I'd say like the whole movie took place within like 8 hours. And as somebody who thought it was gonna be a biopic, I thought like shit was gonna be popping off left and right. They got to go to different places and things like that. Something like Ray, but it didn't. Now, because it didn't do that, I feel like it gave more room for the characters to shine. Get like I said, to show you more instead of tell you more, to show you more, and then tell you about what they think, or not really what they think of what they've been through, and let you decide what they think. So I thought that was really dope. Overall, I really did enjoy the movie Ma Rainey's Black Bottom. I really got no scores. Look, I'm about to say 8 out of 10. I don't really know. I don't know if I'm gonna watch it again. I'm gonna say that. I don't know if I'm going to watch it again. Shout out to the dude who played Toledo. I gave Viola Davis credit. I gave Chadwick Boseman credit. Rest in power. Shout out to the dude who played Toledo. Third favorite, but everybody did a phenomenal job. I think the whole cast did a really good job. Everybody was strong. Nobody was really weak. Shout out to Denzel for executive producing this. I think he did that. So, with all that being said, I'm going to go ahead and hop off of Ma Rainey. Now, y'all ready to get some fun started? So, in this magical world of the foosball's going on, I am having a very hard time figuring out what the fuck is happening right now. So right now I'm recording this on Sunday night, and currently the Steelers are getting manhandled. They are getting violated, obliterated, annihilated, assassinated,
castrated. Like many aided words that you can say right now to kind of describe it. But because I'm not watching it, I don't really want to speak on it. All I know is the Browns were up 28-0 by the end of the first quarter. I'm shocked. I don't know who else. I don't know if you could be any other way than shocked. Like, okay, I got the score right here. So it's in halftime right now. The Browns are up 35-10. Now, I'm not going to sit here and say that a comeback is impossible. But what the fuck is going on in Pittsburgh right now? I don't even know if they're in Pittsburgh, but for some reason, I feel like the Browns still think that Juju Smith-Schuster didn't learn his lesson about dancing on people's logos. So we're going to see how that turns out later. But what I'm going to speak on, the Baltimore and Tennessee game real quick because I got a chance to watch that game. I thought it was a really good, interesting game. I think both teams fought their hearts out. One, I'm going to say this. Shout out to the Baltimore Ravens defense because they did a phenomenal job. They did as good as they were going to do against Derrick Henry and Ryan Tannehill. So I think they centered their game plan. I think that the game plan was Ryan Tannehill beat us because they were there to try and stop Derrick Henry whenever there was a run for him. And they got good. They managed to get a good play going for A.J. Brown. I do recall that there. I'm about to go ahead and get the ball pulled up. I can talk about it later. Excuse me. So waiting for this real quick. Let's go through some of the scores. So Indiana versus Buffalo. Indiana lost 24-27. Shot to Buffalo. First time making it back to the playoffs. Win a playoff in the last 25 years. I think that's what was said. Los Angeles Rams beat the Seahawks 30-20. Whoa. The Bucs versus Washington. Buccaneers won 31-23. All right, here we go. Yeah, I'm not talking about New Orleans win. I knew that was given. So Baltimore won. Yes, but some of this stuff. So Derrick Henry, like I said, 18 carries for 40 yards. His long was 8 yards. Oh, that's phenomenal rushing defense right there. Especially on somebody like Derrick Henry. That's tough. It's fucking tough. So, yeah, like I said, they decided that Tannehill was going to have to be the one to beat them, and they still managed to get 7 sacks on Ryan Tannehill. He had QB 71.5, which isn't too terrible at the same time. Like, yo, they really stagnated the offense. And I'm not going to talk about the interception yet. Not yet. I'm going to sit down for a minute. But, yo, I think Tennessee fought their hearts out. They really did the best what they had. Yo, AJ, if you're ever interested in Philly cheesesteaks, if you ever want to, go run up the staircase like Rocky did, I know a great place, and all you got to do is wear this couple different jerseys. That's it. Every so often. You get to play football, too. So there's also that. Now, big shout out to Lamar Jackson. Started the game off a little iffy. Had me a little worried because I originally had the Ravens pick. You can check the Twitter. So I originally had the Ravens pick to go ahead and just to win the game. I didn't realize it was going to be like this. So Lamar Jackson got sacked 14 times. 14. Am I tripping? Am I not reading this right? I think he did get sacked 14 times. He got sacked a lot. That was huge credit to the Titans defense. Shut up. I'm talking. But Lamar Jackson ended up, it was like 3rd and long. I can't remember if they were at the 40. They were at the 50. He went for 48 yards for a touchdown. You could see the frustration, the play prior where his pocket collapsed on him. He got sacked, and he just started on the gridiron. And I said, it's time. I just said it. I was like, oh, man, Lamar, he looks pissed. And that MVP form came through because he rushed for 136 yards on 16 carries. Yo, against the Titans defense, because like the thing that I noticed with the Titans defense that really had me worried for the Ravens winning was the fact that they played really good. The defensive end, shout out to them, they played a really good contain game. Because every time Lamar Jackson in the first few drives tried to escape, they were right there to bottle him up or then herd him to another member of the defense where either they could get the sack or they could force some type of issue that would end up getting a 3-and-out and then Titans get the ball back. But yo, man, it was a really good game, really hard-fought game. Now, I think the results of this round is going to depend. Not this round, but the next round. So whether the Ravens play, not the Chiefs, but the Bills, depends on whether Cleveland or Pittsburgh wins. So I'm not going to speak on that just yet. The other game that I did get a chance to watch, I watched a little bit of damn near all the games from yesterday. So the Indiana Buffalo game, I caught that at the end. Man, look. That one was up in the air. Definitely up in the air. The Rams and Seahawks game, I'm really surprised as to what happened to Russell Wilson. Really surprised as to what happened. But is anybody else surprised that the Seahawks took out another team's quarterback?
in the playoffs.
Cage remembers. Cage remembers Seattle. Cage definitely remembers. But I think this was look. I almost said this was a good comeback game for Jared Goff, and then I look at the QBR rating, and I'm like, never mind. I'm not really gonna speak on that. But a lot of the foosballs going on. I want to go and throw my picks out there. So let's say Cleveland wins. Who the fuck do they play next? Hold on. See if I can pull that up. My laptop's moving slow as hell, so I highly doubt it's going to pull up. It's okay. Go when you want to. All right, we got to do this fast. I had a patience to wait on this website. I think it's moving slow because it has to pull up like live. And, that might cause it to move a little slow. Oh, man, oh, man, oh, man. Okay, so at least on the NFC side, the match is already set. So Rams are gonna play Packers, and then the Buccaneers are gonna play the Saints. Ooh, I think it's gonna be a good game. I think Packers are gonna win. I think Packers are gonna beat the Rams. I'm not even gonna stuff that one there. The Bucs and the Saints, I think that's gonna be a good game because I don't like the fact that if I was popping in and out, I was seeing that the Saints had the teams going back and forth. I'm not gonna say it went scoreless for a little bit, but the Saints didn't really pull away until a little bit later into the second half. Now they did against the Buccaneers. The Buccaneers and the Washington Football Club, they damn near had it out for one another. So I think, I want to say Saints. I want to see the Saints do good. I want to see Saints fans be happy, especially because I like New Orleans. I like the city. It has a lot of character, a lot of history behind it, all that fun stuff. But I don't think the Saints are gonna beat the Bucs. I don't know. Something's holding me back from giving you guys a confident the Saints are gonna win. So on the cast, I'm gonna say it's gonna be Packers and Bucs in the NFC Conference Finals, and then on the opposite aisle of things, I think if the Browns win, which it looks like they're gonna win, Browns are probably gonna play the Chiefs, and then the Ravens might play the Bills. Now, if the Ravens play the Bills, I'm thinking the Bills. And, if the Browns play the Chiefs, I think the Chiefs are they're going to pull away. They're going to find a way to win. The Chiefs are just the Golden State Warriors. All right, so with that being said, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Y'all ready to go ahead and kick off this nerd stuff? Yo, so really exciting things just happened. HBO Max decided to step its game up tremendously. They put Batman the Animated Series on there, and when I fucking tell you, it's so much better than I remember. So much better. I don't know where my attention span was as a child because I enjoyed Batman the Animated Series and the New Adventures of Batman, and I think Robin, but watching it now, I'm like, yo, I'm in love with this fucking show. I'll turn it on. I'll tell myself I'm gonna turn it on, just have some type of background, just get that nostalgia effect. I probably won't watch that many episodes. Dog, I've been binge watching the fuck out of it. I'll get off of work, I'll pick up Coda, and me and Coda are just sitting there cracked out on Batman the Animated Series, and I'm like, yo, I'm loving everything about it. Even in some of the earlier episodes, there's an episode where Batman is he's got somebody hooked on the fucking by the grapple hook, and just the animation of him and his cape twirling around flying through the city. I was like, yo, this is dope for 1991. I love the setting. I love the atmosphere of Batman the Animated Series. It's very that noir look to it, that 1950s Vice City. This is a tough town kind of fucking feel to it. I love it so much, and just watching it reminded me of how much I love Batman, especially the Bruce Wayne character. In Batman the Animated Series, one of the episodes is that stuck out to me that I didn't even know that that was on as I was a child was there's an episode where a mob boss is looking for his son, and Batman kidnaps the mob boss and takes him over to like this a rehab facility, and he explains to he has the wife explain that the kid got addicted to drugs because of what he's pushing. I'm like, fam, this is on a kid show, yo, this is what's up. Like, there's another episode Batman is like bleeding and shit. I'm like, fam, what were, yo, I think somebody got stabbed by a battering in another episode. I was like, this is so dope. I love it. And I don't think I could. I don't know if we're ever gonna get something like that again. Batman the Animated Series truly is special. It really, really is. And just to like give myself that dual effect. So if you notice back there, I don't know if you can see it because of the glare, but you got a Batman on top and then a Spider-Man right across from it. Those are my favorite too. So yeah, Spider-Man on the front, Batman right there. And when I watched Batman the Animated Series, I was like, bet, now I got to go watch Spider-Man the Animated Series. And then I watched 3 episodes, and I was like, all right, back to this Batman, though. Look, there's no hate on the Spider-Man the Animated Series. It's like my second favorite Spider-Man cartoon show. But that Batman, though, that shit's on a whole nother level. Especially, like, going back, like, listening to Kevin Conroy when he first started out as Batman, Mark Hamill's first starting out as Joker, like, listening to them so raw and new to the roles. And then as you, like, if you're a nerd like me, you've just continued to consume all the animated media that DC will put out, all the animated movies and whatnot, and you just continue to see them grow into the roles from, like, from the cartoons to the video games to the movies. Like, yo, them two have been through some shit together, man. It's just, it doesn't sound right having one without the other. So that's why I love, hearing them both together. And then it was such a nice, refreshing thing for me, at least, to see Harley Quinn return to that villain role I originally met her in. So, I mean, yeah, you could say she's a villain in Suicide Squad, but if the whole purpose of the movie Suicide Squad is to take these villains and put them in a role of like a team full of anti-heroes, you know what I mean? So like going and seeing her like just begin in Batman the Animated Series again this shit is like dope. I was like, oh yeah, I forgot Harley actually is a no shit villain. There actually is something wrong with Harley. Joker what was wrong with Harley? And look, and that takes me to Arkham, the whole Arkham series, because even when the Joker's gone, Harley's still fucking shit up. Hell, listening to like the audio tapes, listening to Harley Quinn and how Harley Quinn thinks and fucking responds to shit. I was like, oh, this is that shit that I love. And I can't wait to get to the episode with Two-Face. Everybody likes the episode with Mr. Freeze. It's the episode with Two-Face that used to get me as a kid, because I was like, man, that's so sad. They messed his face up. Now I'm like, damn, this shit's sad. They fucked his face up. So, Batman the Animated Series is definitely a better show than I remember. And the best thing about it is that I actually watched Mask of the Phantasm for the first time a few months ago. And that shit alone, like, I have to speak on that if I'm going to talk about the animated series. That one, I think that show did better what... I think it's not the most recent run of Batman, but it's the one where Batman and Catwoman were supposed to get married. Like, the Mask of the Phantasm took that, because spoilers for somebody, like for anybody who hasn't seen the movie that came out in like the 90s, but Mask of the Phantasm, you had Batman truly distraught because he's so conflicted over two different worlds, being Batman and being with with the woman that he loves. He doesn't feel like, I don't know, man. It's so fucking dope watching, like, it was dope watching Batman struggle like this, because he was ready to put it all down. He was ready to put his fucking jersey up in the rafters and just be done with all the madness, because he found the one that he wanted to settle down with. That's the power for you. That's the power, bro. Power. But yo, Batman the Animated Series, I can't speak highly of it enough. Like, I would love to. Oh shit, I would love. I'm about to go watch some more of it. Honestly, I can't fall asleep to it, because like every time I try to fall asleep to it, I'll close one eye and then open it as soon as I hear some shit go down. And god damn it, I love that. I love that shit. I Look, I love that show so much. So fucking much. So now that I'm done ranting and rambling about that, I said we go ahead and we just push on. So I didn't think I was going to talk about this, but I'm going to speak on it a little quick because we kind of flew through the Batman the Animated Series stuff. So this weekend, I really don't like bringing up Twitter a lot, but on Twitter, I saw that the Spectacular Spider-Man got it started trending, and people were saying save the Spectacular Spider-Man. Now I was about to just start breaking my retweet button, especially because they put like Josh Keaton in there too, and I love Josh Keaton's performance as Spider-Man, but then I had to stop. I was like hesitated because in my experience with reboots, remakes, bringing things back, you don't like it. Some of the times, I'm not saying a lot all the time, but sometimes it's not as good as you remember it being. And not just the show itself. When they do try to remake it or they try to bring it back, the easiest example I can bring up is Young Justice. I didn't like Young Justice season 3, and I'm so close to saying. I was so close to saying I didn't like it as much as I thought I would. Like, fam, I was so excited. So fucking excited for Young Justice Season 3. And I was so disappointed. So disappointed about Young Justice Season 3. I didn't even make it past, like, the mid-season. Like, I was in it. I was, like, enjoying all the little fan service stuff. And I was like, oh, snap, man. Whoa. Wally's in somebody's brain and he shows up. Like, I bit everything that they gave me, and then like by the time the mid-season happened, and I was like, okay, man, I can't wait to see where they're gonna go. And then I went without, and I was completely fine with going without. And then it came back, and I was like, I don't feel like watching it. I just lost interest, and that's so sad for me to say. Now, one thing I noticed that some people complaining about that I can speak to, especially with Young Justice Season 2, what the show Young Justice does. I don't know why Greg Weisman does this, but so much happens to the characters that they don't show you, but they have the characters talk about it. So you see the characters grow. So you don't see the characters grow, but you see the results of them growing. You miss out on all these important character moments and stuff like that. Like, I was over that type of stuff right there. I was over like the little bits and chunks of fan service. I just lost interest, dog, and it broke my heart because I'll ride for Young Justice anytime my nephew's over. I'm like, bet, and y'all want to watch Young Justice? Like, what's good? I damn near would say the Young Justice was better than Teen Titans, but I can't say that no more. Cause I can't say it no more. I really can't. But I really did fall in love with Young Justice Season 1 and 2. But Season 3 just didn't do it for me like that, to the point where I'm comfortable with not watching it again. I'm comfortable with like leaving the story as it was, the way I remembered it. Now, bringing that to the Spectacular Spider-Man. Spectacular Spider-Man, once again, it was created by Greg Weisman. My all-time favorite Spider-Man cartoon. Only ran for 2 seasons, just like Young Justice did originally. For some reason, Greg Weisman in 2 seasons is all he needs to make you fall in love with something. But fam, I fucking loved Spectacular Spider-Man. You, like, hands down, some of the best animated action, because I haven't watched the newer Spider-Man, so you gotta, give me some time to. If it's good, let me know, then I'll go watch it. But hands down, best action. Josh Keaton, the Spider-Man, bar none. Like, that's my favorite. My favorite. Josh Keaton Spider-Man is Kevin Conroy's Batman, to Mark Hamill's Joker, George Newbern's Superman, Steve Blum Wolverine. That's like, those are the voices I hear whenever I look at like that picture over there. Like, that's no shit who I hear. Now, and that's not even just like this. I'm sorry, I'm about to be jumbled with this because I have that much of love for the Spectacular Spider-Man. Spectacular Spider-Man starts off like every single Spider-Man cartoon, where it differs is, let's say, you see how Peter's more involved with his villains. Now, I say that because season 1, so obviously there's going to be spoilers in this, but season 1, Peter's there when Electro is made. Because Peter keeps beating up on Alex and like literally Rhino and Sandman, before they transform into these characters, they volunteer to become these super genetic freaks to beat Spider-Man because they're so sick of him. Like, they have that much of an emotional response to Spider-Man to where they deform their bodies for the rest of their lives. You know what I mean? Fucking, who else is there? Vulture just, he was going after Norman Osborn, but then Spider-Man got in the way. Green Goblin. Yo, the whole Green Goblin thing, ranging from season 1 and season 2. That shit was fucking, that shit was dope. It covered drug addiction. It covered, like the aggression Spider-Man had, the betrayal that Eddie Brock felt, and the reason, like, you saw him and the Venom symbiote. Yo, I'm not even gonna front with you. When Spider-Man had that symbiote and he had to fight the Sinister Six, oh my god, that shit was so fucking hard. Damn, I love the Spectacular Spider-Man. And another thing I love about Spectacular Spider-Man is, like, it gives all the other side characters a time to shine. Flash Thompson, of course he's a dickhead at first. And then by the end of the show, you're like, oh, he's a dickhead with heart. Cool beans. You get people like, you get characters like Randy. Only person, in my opinion, who was actually cool with Peter. Or at least, not cool with Peter, but like he was nice to him. He was never like that much of a dickhead to him. Who else is there? Like, you get just everybody in Spider-Man's world. And it's just so dope to watch. Especially when you see how the Sinister Six interact with one another when they do meet. Or how they take characters like Tombstone. Tombstone was just like a thug in Spider-Man the Animated Series. And in this, oh man, with Keith David voicing him, yo, he was a fucking problem. He put the hands on my favorite hero. Whoa. Man, I love that fucking show. So, my fear with the Spectacular Spider-Man is that if they do choose to revitalize it, bring it back to life, how much is going to be changed? What kind of messaging are they going to try and put into this cartoon? Because of Spider-Man, there's so many different kinds of, like, stories that could be told. There's so many different things that they could do with it. The biggest thing I want them to stay the fuck away from anything the movies are doing. I don't even want Spider-Man to meet other Spider-Men, for lack of a better term. I kind of don't want Miles in there, but I kind of do want Miles in there, as long as Miles is done right, per usual. So, one thing that I would love to see is, I want to see, if they do bring it back, I want to see a time skip. I want to see, like, Spider-Man in college. I want to see a more adult Spider-Man. Now, that's not to say I want the same Young Justice where we just get, blood and gore and more mature and, like, people, get killed. I don't necessarily need that for it to be a good cartoon, especially since kids are going to be watching this. What I am going to say with this, though, is I want it to take us back to what we as 90 kids remember, in having TV shows that both kids and parents could watch. I would love to be able to sit down and enjoy Spider-Man with, let's say, my nephews or something like that, with my kids one day. That shit would be dope. And in order for, like, that's one thing that I appreciate about Batman the Animated Series, just to bring that back around. I'm a grown-ass man raving about a cartoon that was made for kids. That's a sign of amazing writing. I'm a grown-ass man who remembers fondly of the Spectacular Spider-Man, a show made for kids. I don't know if they can recreate that magic. I really don't know if they could do that. I would love if they could. I would love to see fucking Josh Keaton be Spider-Man again. I would love to see that. I just don't think it's feasible. You know what I mean? I think we're probably just going to get another cookie cutter Spider-Man show before we get something like that top notch. Now, I'm not trying to shit on anybody else's favorite Spider-Man. I'm just saying the Spectacular Spider-Man was the best. Come fight me. Now, with all that being said, I said we go ahead and push on to the last topic of the night. So, last topic of the night, just to try and bring all this nerd shit back around. Let's talk about let's talk about anime real quick. So, now, I'm not going to go in depth about reviews and whatnot. Real quick disclaimer. I have to apologize again to anybody who's watching the streams. If you were looking forward to the Jujutsu Kaisen read through and the Record of Ragnarok read through, My Hero Academia, like all types of stuff like that, I do sincerely apologize. I just don't want to give you bad content. I don't want to do that to you. I wouldn't want to sit there and watch it, so I don't expect you to watch it. So I don't want that to be what you make of me, my character, or my channel. So with that being said, like, I just want to throw that out there. Now, regarding anime, I started Glipnir. Yo, I fell in love with Glipnir. Like, damn, I'm probably gonna listen to the song as soon as I leave this room. Like, I was like, it's not the opening, it's the ending. I'm like, like, yo, it was good. And one thing I really like about Glipnir, somebody said you can like feel the punches, dog. Ooh, shit. I think it's episode 2. When old girl starts her combo, I was like, look, that was a fucking 40-hit combo, and I felt every punch. Rib, gut, face. Oh, nah, fam. That shit, it's dope. It's dope. So I'm 4 episodes in. I had to stop myself at some point before I caught up entirely, just because, you know, I like to get excited. I was like, okay, instead of just having 1 episode, I got like 3. So with that being said, I'm pretty sure Glipnir is a seinen. So I brought Glipnir up because I don't think it's as I don't know. I don't think it's I think it's a seinen, but I think it's a censored version. I don't know if it is censored. I don't know if it's not censored, but I think it's a seinen. And the reason why I'm bringing this up is because I want to ask a question. Now that we are in a you see, this is where the word tact comes in, because Cage and tact don't really get along. So we're in this more sensitive culture. Seinen is a very, like, seinen manga, from what I've read, shows manga like Berserk, Gantz, fucking Jagan. I'm pretty sure Glipnir is a seinen. There's a couple more, I can't think of them off the top of my head. They have Goblin Slayer. They have more harsh, darker stories, obviously, and with that comes a whole new territory for a whole bunch of other stuff. Now, the question I'm asking is, should we see an influx of these seinen anime that should take over? You never know. A new genre pops up every day. 1 second, it's not rom-com, slice of life. Next second, it's isekai. You never know if seinen shows up. But should seinen come around and be the next popular anime, would fans be happy if they're censored? Now, I'm not going to sit here and say how I love Berserk for like this scene, or Griffith's my favorite character, because that's a fucking lie. Griffith deserves to have his balls ripped off and his eyeballs snatched out by Guts, but that's neither here nor there. But a story like Berserk is extremely dark, and I think everything is used to emphasize the despair, not just the despair, but like everything, the darkness that surrounds it. This is a harsh, brutal fucking world, and everything happens for a reason within this story. Every single thing, even that thing, that happened for a reason. Somebody like Alexander the Masked Man could definitely give you a much better reasoning for that, but even I just can't really articulate it into words because your boy's tired. But I don't want it to be censored. I'm fine with the censored option being out there, but I would like to take in the full intention of the author, because I'm not like I'm going into some of these stories with a more optimistic point of view. I'm not looking for I really don't care for nihilistic stories. Like hell with Attack on Titan, I'm sitting here and I'm rocking in my chair because all I want is them to make it to a happy ending. It ain't gonna happen, but a man can dream. So when it comes down to these seinen stories, I can see the need for it to be censored. If it's gonna go out to like the masses, it shouldn't become like the next mainstream thing. But I don't want it to be censored, because I think this is gonna take away from like the integrity of the author. Like, what is the author's story? Why do you think authors are putting this act of violence in there? Whether it's like not just in that way, but like physical violence and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Like characters getting the shit beat out of them in certain ways. There's a reason behind that. There's a reason why these characters have like such raw emotional responses or have these mental breakdowns. And I think if you like if you censor something like that, you could potentially be taken away from storytelling in the future. Like, let's say, for example, character A beats the living dog shit out of character C in front of character B. That could be a great character moment between characters C and B if you witness what character A did to character C, where you witness the trauma being put on this character. Now, if you censor that, it doesn't seem as real, or for me, it takes me out the moment. Like, I'll sit there and just be like, oh, it wasn't that bad. He punched you. Oh, man. Or, like, I sit there and I look at Dragon Ball Super. I'm like, yo, everybody's face is, like, beyond steel. Everybody's face is beyond adamantium. It's no cuts, no bruises, no nothing. Is that a hard censorship? I don't really know. I know Dragon Ball's a kid's show, but, like, that's one of the examples I could come up with. Because, Dragon Ball Z back in our day, motherfuckers was losing their body parts. Piccolo's arm was always gone. Frieza lost his whole half body. Look, horizontal and vertical. You see where the trend is going right here. One Piece isn't as graphic, from what I can tell you, in the current storyline. Majority of the graphic shit happens like in the past, always in flashbacks. So, with all that being said, let me know how you guys feel about this. Let me know how you feel about a lot of the topics that we discussed today. Tell me who your NFL playoff picks are. Tell me how you doing today. Tell me how you doing today. How are you feeling? So, that's all I got for you guys. We did some talking. It's nice to be back in the driver's seat. It's nice to be back on the cast. Unfortunately, in these circumstances, it's not really the most fun, but shameless plug, I got to do it again. You know what I'm about to say. If you're interested in one of these shirts, you want to support your boy, hey, hit me up on the businessgram, Conquest Archives. I'll let you know what I have in stock. If you want to follow me on Twitter and you tell me how much you love me, by all means, Cocaine Cage Re. If you want to follow me on Twitch for when I can get these streams up and running with a good laptop, X Cocaine Cage. Yo, if you want to support the channel in the most direct way, the Patreon's right there. Right there. Link in the description. Chris Cage or Cocaine Cage or the Continuity Cast. I can't even remember off the top of my head. But I would truly appreciate whatever you can offer. Honestly. Because, like I said, all it's going to go to is making all of this better. Making it better. Being able to put out higher quality content. That's all I want to do. I'm falling in love with this microphone. I'm falling in love with it. I'm falling in love with sitting here in front of this camera and talking to y'all. I think I love it just as much recording it as I do streaming it. I love being able to talk to people in real time and shoot the shit with them, form more relationships. I just love the whole 9 yards. So, with all that being said, I'm tired as hell. I'm about to go to bed. I got work in the morning. Oh, man. I start counting down to where I ain't got to say that no more. That'd be fun. But, yo, if you feel like there's somebody that's dope for me to interview or collab with or anything like that, please let me know. Let me know. Comment below who you think would be dope. I'll move heaven and earth to try and make something happen, or at least reach out to them. So with all that being said, I have been Chris Cage. This has been the Continuity Cast. Y'all go forth, do great things. Have a good night. Good luck, Steelers fans.